We've got Sharon and Artie and Pat who are seeing in real time. And Neil, you want to move up to that level. Pat, first of all, can you just state what your goal is with this? In other words,
Yeah.
where do you want to go with it? How do you want your mindset to expand? What do you want to happen? What do you expect to happen? What would you
Yeah.
like to have happen?
My hope is that my entire field is open for me to visualize. And I realize that's my mind showing me what my eyes cannot see because my eyes are covered. So I want that full range so that as I teach and work with veterans who have lost or are losing their sight, then I can explain to them the many stages that you go through to get there. So I think that's probably why mine is taking a little while. It's certainly I would love for it to just be snap, and it's all the way on. But I think I do have to understand all of those stages. So I think
Sure,
that's why it's taking
sure.
as long.
And for Neil's benefit, could you explain how big your window or windows are right at this moment?
Yeah. So I just yesterday had a third one open up. So I have two on either side, or one on either side in the periphery, that when I am looking at them with my mind, they look like they're about the size of like nickel to quarter. The one that is now open up here is maybe the size of a dime, and it's there and then it's not, and then it's there and then it's not. So it's still in that phase of coming into permanency. And then I do have a lot of little areas along here that are gonna, I believe, open soon, so that I'll have like the finger width, across here, that my mind will allow me to see with.
Okay, and are you using patches now and again as well?
I do sometimes. I don't feel like they make a big difference for me at this point, but I do keep trying them just in case. And at whatever point I feel that they're making a difference, then I'll go to that as a standard for myself.
Okay, and when you have the patches on, you can see in the same way, you have your mask
Yes.
and your patches on, and you have all these windows that you can see despite the fact that you've got two layers of covering.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, fabulous. Now, Artie, you're next on the screen. Can you explain to the group exactly where you are right now with your mind sight and where you'd like to go with it?
I have a two window open here. One is here, something coming here. And the last two practice, I'm seeing this one coming on top of each other. So I don't know what's going on here. I explained it also. I don't understand this one, what's going on here. Obviously, I want a bigger, like whole thing is coming big. So I'm trying that stuff. And I'm trying with my eye closed also. So sometimes I see the colors with that, but sometimes I didn't see anything. So I'm working on that stuff right now.
Okay, and have you
And
tried with the patches on as well?
yes,
Okay, and when you have your
yeah,
patches on plus the mask, how many windows do you have open at that time?
the two and one here, so three. Yeah.
Okay,
And
great.
when I close my eyes, definitely this one is open always with my eye closed also, but this one is not. So I want to do that with my eye closed.
Okay, very good. And Sharon, can you give us an update on exactly where your seeing the room in real time mindsight is and whether you work with patches or not? And where do you want to go with this ability?
I have this two windows here. It's been like this since the beginning when I first opened, and then this right down here. It's kind of narrow, small. I started. I practiced with patches workshop, and then a little bit during the summer, and then I kind of backed off from that because I feel like I've been drawn to practice more intuitively for now. Like Pat and Artie, I would love to have just show me everything, and but I mean, we'll see. We'll see where this leads me because I don't know, and I'm excited to know for it to unfold.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. We'll go around one more time now. Pat, briefly, could you detail a little bit what you were feeling, what you were thinking, how it came open in that moment. Sort of what was your mind state? What was your emotional state? What were you feeling? Just describe the scenario in those moments when your seeing came open.
So it was a surprise to me because I didn't realize that I had a window open. And I was sitting with Dahlia, and because we had all, each of us had been paired up with somebody whose windows had opened to some extent. So I was sitting with Dahlia, and she was explaining to me how she sees. And I was excited for her, but I really wanted to see too. It was just like, I want to see, kind of like the little kid in me. And I caught a glimpse of a color that we hadn't been working with. And I thought, I can see. And so I put my thumbnail by it, and I wiggled around, and I made all my faces, and I could see the color, and I realized, oh my gosh, I can see. And it was just a tiny little spot about, the size of a pencil eraser. But if I followed it just right, I could see the lettering on the color. And so I was just so excited. So that just really kind of renewed my faith, and my joy was just over the moon.
Okay.
So that's how
And could you detail what was your emotional state as it came open or as you discovered? Was there a certain mindset
Oh,
you were in, or what were you feeling that day or that morning or afternoon? Can you detail any of those kind of mental, emotional things around it?
so I would have to say my emotional state was kind of oscillating back and forth between today could be the day. Everybody else's, it seemed like everybody else, about half the folks had windows that were opening. And I wanted to be in that group. So one moment I'm like, is it going to happen for me today? And the next minute I'm like, it's going to happen for me today. So, so kind of back and forth between tentative and super excited.
Okay, excellent. Well done. Artie, if you can think back to, when we were all together and you saw your watch, can you describe for the group in the moments that led up to that, what was your emotional state or mental state? What were you thinking? What were you feeling when it actually opened?
I think it's happened second day, and we went out in sun. So I thought like, oh, it's like a every day for me. I'm like, I don't think I can do that. Like, because I saw that movie, and I'm like, no, these things need a practice. I don't have any idea how this thing works. So I'm like, yeah, let's see. And then we go out, and then somehow I see my watch. So I'm like, oh wow, I can do this. And then yeah, after that I feel like really tired and happy too, because I don't think I can do I can see that, and now I am seeing it. So it's like, yeah, it's like feel really good. And now it's like coming more windows open. So it's like, yeah, wow, I can do this.
Okay, excellent. And Sharon, in the moments that led up to when your window or windows came open, was there anything special you were feeling or thinking, or any kind of a mood or mind state that you were in? If you think back, was there anything unique about that?
I don't remember everything. I think I just kind of blanked out because I believe I didn't have a partner at the time when it happened, because everybody got paired off, and then I just kind of fast enjoy the sunshine. And then I kind of experimented with different things, and I go, wait, what is and then it happened. And then Rob, he's got his, cards here. What, can you see this? Can you see that? It was kind of funny.
So would you say it was more of letting go and not even worrying about it, and you were just vegging out enjoying the sun?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You weren't even trying, it just happened to open spontaneously.
Yeah, because I didn't know what the process was. I mean, not process, but yeah, I just kind of let go of just being in the moment.
Okay, Neil, this is where you get to ask questions. I know, you've likely talked to Artie many times, but we've got Sharon and Pat in the room here now. If there's any questions you've got, now's your chance to ask.
One of the questions I have is like you talked about process. So when you went from intuitive to seeing in real time, like was it like a gradual, like the window slowly open, and did you have to actively do something? Because when I put my mask on, I do see lights and sparkles and stuff like that, but like that's kind of where it kind of ends from the real time perspective. When you have your mask on, are you actively doing something, thinking something, trying something to kind of get from the intuitive to the real time?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked that because it's too cold to sit outside in the sun, but I found that I can sit in a window and get a pretty good amount of sun. I mean, nothing replaces the actual sun, but like when you can feel it on your skin, it makes a big difference. So I turn my chair around and face the window, and I'm sitting there and I wait for it to start, activating. I start seeing the little lights and then my windows will appear. And I talk to the little lights and I tell them that I want them to get bigger. And I'll find one that I want to work with and I'll focus on it and I'll say, bigger, bigger, bigger. And I'll watch it get bigger, bigger, bigger. And then as soon as I stop talking to it pops back down to what it was. And I'll say bigger, bigger, bigger. So the ones that stay, because we get the ones that don't stay, when you look at them, they disappear, but eventually they'll come back and stay. So the ones that are there, and I probably have maybe 100 of them now, it's because like Rob had said, the shy ones just need their time. So I leave them alone and let them kind of come into their own being. But the ones that are there, I talk to them and I ask them to get bigger. And then at some point, they'll start looking like a soap bubble, almost like, like the bubbles, the bubble stuff that with, the little kids and it gets the bubble. And I'll play with the bubbles and I'll make them get bigger. And then pretty soon there will be like 3 or 4 different lights in there. So it's like they're multiplying in it. And it kind of looks like cells, multiplying. And so I just talk to them and I tell them open, open, and I have also switched from the mindset of I want my mind to be able to see to my mind can already see because it can. And I want to be able to visualize it, like show me, open the little lights so that I can see because I know my mind can see it. Now I want it to transfer it to my awareness. So constantly talking to them.
Excellent. And Sharon, do you have anything more to add to that as to your experience? Because, there's probably as many different experiences as there are people. Everybody's unique. And so it's going to open in a way that's specific and custom to them. Although there may be a lot of generalizations, it's definitely helpful that each person describe how it works for them. So if you can add anything to Neil's question. Neil, what was your question again?
What is the process that you do internally to go from the intuitive to the real time, right? So, I mean, I'm at the point where I can see sparkles, but then what do you do to kind of go to that next stage?
I think that Rob had mentioned this before about letting go, relax, and don't concentrate. Because actually, I noticed this one time when I was practicing outside with patches on, and I was trying to concentrate on a little opening on the side here, and then it just wouldn't, and then I just kind of like, I gave up, and then it's like I relax and I go, oh wait, it's there. It was kind of hilarious, but that taught me don't focus. I mean, don't like I gotta see something, just what's that word that Rob mentioned before? Yeah, just the opposite of concentrate. Just relax as much as you can.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
And great, Sharon and Arti. Once again, imagine you've talked, but now in this group setting where we are right now, do you have anything more to add around Neil's question that you could mention at this time also?
Just relax and focus on like not like 12 things, just focus on like one thing and go for that. Because in my case, it happened is like the cheesecloth, and I saw like so many small window, but I go only for one, and then happen is that window got bigger a little bit, and then I see my watch and my ring and everything, right? So.
And then one last question, and Neil, of course, if you have any more, but how did it feel, Pat, when you actually started seeing? Was it disbelief? Were you excited? What were you feeling?
Again, I was back and forth, like, I was like, oh, this can't be real. I must be cheating or something, And so I kind of lived in that mode for like 3 or 4 days, and then it shut down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it was real. It's gone now. How do I get it back? So I think I had to lose it to understand that it is real. And so I was so excited when it came back. I was excited as I was that first day when I saw it. And I've also found that like listening to music that I like, like 70s music really does it for me, you know, and so I'll put that on, and it just lightens my mood. You know, I was young and naive and rebellious and, you know, just all those fun things. So I have that going. I'm working in the sun and stuff. So yeah, I just try to really appreciate the fact that it is real. Definitely.
Excellent. Okay, and Neil, is there any other questions that you'd like to ask?
Just one last question. What are your physical eyes doing when you're seeing in real time? Like, are they in a spot? Are they kind of going around? Are they down, up, left, right? What are your physical eyes doing when you're seeing in real time?
Yeah, my physical eyes think they can see. They can't see. There's no light in there. They can't see. And actually, you don't need your eyes to see. That's all a brain thing. And it's just, you know, it's interacting with your eyes, kind of like giving your eyes something to do, you know, like go fetch, you know. So my physical eyes think that they are seeing, and they'll turn in the direction that I'm looking, but they can't see. It's my brain.
Okay, and Sharon, anything to add around that?
The left brain is just always trying to step in and trying to comment and things like that. So I try to relax as much as possible, and then the left brain will just get tired sometimes. So yeah, and just have fun, you know.